Marina, Marina, Ocean Melody, over.
Ocean Melody, go ahead, over.
Yeah, good morning, Marina, Ocean Melody. Just checking the gates open. Am I clear to depart? Over.
Ocean Melody, Marina, yeah, the gate's lowered, you're all clear to proceed, over.
Thank you very much. Ocean Melody, out.
So this trip is a bit of a milestone for me. I'm out here on my own today, motoring up the estuary, doing a bit of solo sailing as part of my recovery. Over the past few years, I've been getting steadily more unwell. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia a while back, which explains a lot of the pain and fatigue, but recently some new tests have shown there's actually more going on under the surface. I'll talk about that properly in another video, but for now, honestly, it's been a huge relief. Because fibromyalgia is one of those labels that can feel a bit frustrating, it basically means you feel awful but we don't really know why. It's a bit like migraines, absolutely real, but the cause is a mystery. So to finally have some answers and to know that the treatment is already starting, that there's something real I can put my finger on, it's honestly life-changing. I'm not expecting miracles overnight, but it's such a good feeling to know it wasn't just all in my head. And that's what this video is all about really, taking things slow, rebuilding strength, doing the things I promised myself I'd do to get better. And this, being back here out on the water, feeling the boat move under its own power again, is all part of that recovery. It's about progress, not perfection, and just keep going one step, one sail at a time.
Okay, so it's just me out here today, and the boat and the sea, and I'm accompanied by several opportunities for public embarrassment, I guess. That was a bit interesting coming out of there because the tide was so fast. It was actually taking the front end and skewing it round and trying to get through the moored boats. Fortunately, there aren't that many of them, but it's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. You've got to keep a wide berth to those boats on moorings because it would be dead easy if you lost concentration to clatter one. This is all part of building confidence. I said a few weeks ago that my plan over autumn, winter was to do a load of solo sailing, or as much solo sailing as I can get in, improve my confidence, improve my skills, get out on the boat when I don't have to worry about Oliver and Alaska. So that's what I'm doing today. Jack and Melissa and Oliver and Alaska have gone into Llandudno for a spoons. If you don't know what that is in America, it's a high-class, premier, really nice restaurant of the highest possible quality that sees the highest possible clientele. And I just thought I'd send them to Spoons for a really lovely meal while I'm out sailing. So they'll have a lovely time with the with the excellence of the food and what have you in Spoons. So that's good. And I'm out here by myself. I'm not going for very long. I'm going to go out for an hour, a couple of hours. And apart from anything else, it's useful because when we're in this marina, like I say, I think I mentioned it last week, we need to practice going in and out in different ways. So because I'm alone today, I've come off the berth by myself, and I've already learned a couple of things doing that, about how much speed I need on when the tide's coming in, pushing me across one way, all of that stuff that matters to me but doesn't matter to anybody else. And the same will be true on the way back in. It's not useful information to anybody to share on YouTube. Oh, if you do this happens, because it happens to this boat and on that berth in that marina.
So while we're out exploring Llandudno, we're able to spy on Andy. Can you run to the beach and back?
Yeah.
What I quite like about the camera on the mast is while the kids are playing and having fun on the beach, trying not to fall over, Andy is out sailing and I can just spy on him and make sure he's okay.
I've got some sail up. Here you go, look. I've got some sail up and we are sailing. Haven't turned the engine off yet, but I will in a minute. I'm just about coming up to the fairway marker. It's about another quarter of a mile, I guess, ahead of me. Once we're around that, I'm going to bear away and head off to the Great Orme, I think. For those of you that don't know, there are kind of roads at sea, but only when you get close to land. They're called fairways, and they're marked out by green and red buoys. Red is port and green is starboard. And the first buoy that you encounter when you come up to a fairway is called the fairway marker, because from there on, the way is fair, I presume. And this that we're just coming up to now is the fairway marker. There you go, look. Hello, Mr. Cormorant. Hello. Hello. And what it means is that from this point onwards, kind of this direction, as long as I don't go that direction, back towards land, I can pretty much, it's open sea now. Obviously still got to keep an eye on depths and charts and all of that business, but I'm not in the piloted, wiggly windy route that takes me into Conway. When I come back, I've got to find that and follow the buoys all the way back into the Conway estuary. So I think I'm going to head over that way towards the Great Orme, because that's the direction that the wind is best for me today. And again, I'm not going anywhere in particular, I'm just sailing for the sake of sailing. The only trouble is, again, we've got 6.7 knots of wind. That's not enough. So the sails are doing this. They're just flippy flapping all over the place and we're not going anywhere. But that's not the point. I know I can sail a boat. That's not the issue. And believe it or not, the sailing bit is the easy bit. The bit that's troublesome is handling the boat single-handed, particularly a 17-ton, 46-foot oldie boat with an old-style keel and an old-style rudder, and that kicks to the left when you go backwards, and well, she's got a mind of her own when she goes backwards. So yeah, that's not the point. The point isn't for me to practice sailing. I know I can sail. The point is for me to be out here by myself, enjoying being out here by myself, and becoming friends with the boat by myself, so that we've got a bit more of a relationship, and getting in and out of tight parking spaces. It's a day of firsts. It's the first time I've sailed this boat single-handed, with just me on the boat, I mean. Obviously I've single-handed the boat with the family on board, but it's the first time I've sailed with just me and nobody else on board, and I love it. I'm gonna do lots more of this, and it's the first time, of course, that I've sailed on my own and flown the drone on my own and caught it and not dropped it in the sea. So it's a win-win of a day. It's a win-win kind of day. Let's not jinx it by saying anything stupid. Not that I believe in that superstitious claptrap. Right. In a little bit, I'm going to have to get this head sail back in because it's not really doing anything, is it? It looks pretty though. I don't know what side to go back in on. I'm wondering, so this is, you know, you're along for the journey and you're along for my thought processes. I don't know whether to go in astern like I did before,
and I've already got my warps and fenders on that side, you know, I've just brought them onto the deck and made sure they can't go overboard, or going forwards. I don't know. I don't know. Not sure. I think I might go in astern because it was actually not too difficult last time. And I think the more I do that, the better I'll get at it. I just don't want to hit somebody else's boat. That's my biggest worry. That is, I was talking to Dave, there was a stainless steel guy about this the other day, and everybody's biggest worry is hitting somebody else's boat, isn't it? I don't care what happens to my boat, I just don't want to hit somebody else's. Especially because guaranteed the person whose boat you hit is the kind of person who's not going to be like, oh, don't worry, these things happen, just, you know, repair the damage and it'll be fine. They're going to be the kind of person that's going to be all like official and scary about it. I don't like that. Yeah, the wind's dropped to 2 knots now, so it's a pointless exercise trying to sail today. But as I say, that's not the point of today's, you know, adventure. It's there are different reasons for being out here, all of which are valid. We are just on our way back in, and I think I've decided I'm going to go in astern the way we were. Apart from anything else, it's much nicer for the wind, you know, when the wind picks up, it's much nicer because we've got the screen at the front, and that's the prevailing direction that the wind blows from. So it just offers the boat a little bit more protection and warmth when the wind picks up, so that's good. But I won't pretend I'm not nervous, as you might be able to tell. Just nervous about clouting somebody else's, you know, property. So, but you know, you've got to do this kind of thing for the first time at some point, and nobody intends to hit somebody else's or damage somebody else's property, and I'll be doing everything I possibly can not to, and we shall see. I've done it plenty of times flawlessly, so there's no reason for it to go wrong. Digamwe Marina, Digamwe Marina, Digamwe Marina, Ocean Melody, Ocean Melody, Ocean Melody, over.
Ocean Melody, Digamwe, go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Digamwe, Ocean Melody, just coming down the fairway, just about to come in through the gates. If it's all clear and I've got the go-ahead from yourself, over.
Ocean Melody, yeah, green lights are on, no outbound traffic at the moment, but just proceed with caution, sir, over.
Yeah, will do, thank you. If there is somebody available to come and catch lines, I am solo this morning, but if not, don't worry, thank you. Ocean Melody, over.
Yeah, I'll take a walk down now, just got the young man on the, where you're doing some training, over.
I've decided to have a night out in the mountains. I'm going to go up and find somewhere to bivvy for the night. This section is very steep. It's all kind of gorse and heather around here. I'm making my way over to that track up there because I think if I can get round that corner, there's some good places where I can spend the night. There's some good stone kind of sheep pens that have been there for hundreds and hundreds of years. at this point you're thinking, I'm sure he's riding a bike, you know, you'd be right. I'm still working on my fitness and recovery, as you know, and coming up here on the bike is just a heck of a lot easier than walking. I'll tell you about the bike in a minute when we get to our camp for the night. This looks like our spot for the night. So this is the bike I've come up here on. It's the Model X folding bike from Fiido. Now technically this is more of a commuter bike built for the city and smooth tarmac, cycle paths, that kind of thing. So I'm definitely giving it a bit of a beating, bringing it up into the mountains, but I wanted to see what it could handle. The frame's made from magnesium-alloy, so it's surprisingly light, just under 20 kilos with the battery in, but it still feels solid and stable on rough ground. It's powered by a 250 watt motor and it's got a torque sensor, which means the pedal assist feels really natural. It reacts to how hard you're pedaling rather than just kicking in randomly. And with the 417 watt hour removable battery, you can get up to 130 kilometers of range, depending on the terrain and how much assist you use. There's a 7-speed gearbox, dual disc brakes, and the whole thing folds down in about 5 seconds, and I mean literally 5 seconds, which is brilliant for us on the boat because it folds small enough to actually fit inside the cockpit locker. It's also IP54 waterproof, so it'll handle the odd splash and rain shower, and it's got a proper anti-theft removable battery, so you can take the battery in to charge it, but if you leave it in the bike, nobody can pinch it. So yeah, really, it's not really built for off-road mountain trails, but it's got me up here easily and quietly and without breaking too much of a sweat. It's pretty impressive for something that folds down small enough to stash away on our yacht. Right, to get these bags off, we're going to have a look around. So when I say sheep pens, they're not really sheep pens. There's obvious signs of a bonfire here. Somebody's been fairly recently, I would say. These are super protected, you see, and I've got the stream down here, so plenty of fresh water. Surrounded by the mountains. What a stunning place, eh? And there's loads of these little kind of buildings. Again, it marvels. I'm just, it always amazes me that people built this stuff by hand in the middle of nowhere. Whoa. Sun's going to set soon, so I'm going to start setting up. I haven't got a big tent or anything. I've just got a sleeping bag and a little bivvy bag, like a hoop bivvy, just enough to kind of keep me dry. The thing to be aware of is all of these reeds indicate that it's a bit boggy and marshy. So you don't want to be anywhere near those reeds really. Apart from anything else, you'll get loads of midges around the reeds. Gnats, midges, mozzies. They're not like proper mozzies, but they're flipping annoying. Right, let's get set up. Oh, I'm out of breath. That's why I'm doing this. that's my home for the night. This is my little McKinley Solo hoop bivvy. It's teeny tiny teeny, but I've had it since 2000, I think, when I first started going up into the Alps climbing, and I couldn't afford to stay in the huts, so I was me and Steve and Jason and somebody else long time ago used to go and just camp on the glaciers in those. It's not, the mountain's not even called McKinley anymore, it's called Denali, which is the original name for McKinley, which is the highest mountain in North America. It's in Alaska, but it used to be called Denali, and then it got renamed McKinley, and now it's been renamed Denali again, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there are worse places in the world to be. There's wild horses up here as well. There's lots of wild horses up here, but I don't think I'm going to do a Casey Dutton and see if I can bag one. Apart from anything else, it's illegal to go anywhere near them, so leave them be. I wonder if I'll be brave enough to have a swim in there in the morning. I actually think it's going to pour with rain before morning, but we'll see. When we moved aboard Ocean Melody, or before we moved aboard Ocean Melody, I'd got loads of kit. I'd got a really nice tent. I'd got a MacPack Hemisphere XPD, and I'd got everything I needed for sort of climbing and camping and everything like that. I got rid of a load because we were moving aboard a boat, and there wasn't much space, and there isn't much space, but in hindsight that was stupid, because wherever we go in the world, when we set off again, I'm going to want to go and spend time in the mountains, aren't I, or go off hiking and camping. So I shouldn't have got rid of it, but I did, partly to raise money to put to, you know, we sold loads of stuff to make the dream of living on a boat possible, and now we're there, I'm going to build that side of stuff back up again. So I'm sort of collecting up bits of climbing and camping gear again. So I've got my Phantom Zero sleeping bag. I'll never get rid of that because, you know, who wants a second-hand sleeping bag? But it's a good sleeping bag. And I've got a thermarest. I've got my little one-man tent. I've got a little stove, but I thought I'd got gas and don't. So I'm eating packet food tonight, which I don't like doing at the best of times. But, you know, I just wanted to get out here and I didn't want to delay. So, I'll do it in 3 days' time when I've collected together a stove just to look like I'm doing camping properly. Well, I'm up here in the mountains, aren't I? I'm here, I'm doing it. And if I have to eat a pork pie out of a packet, so be it. I'd rather be here eating a pork pie out of a packet than not here. Pork pie. The food of kings. You probably can't see this because my main camera has gone flat, so I'm on the GoPro. And GoPro's not very good at low light. But up here, we have a kind of mottled, blotchy, mottled sky. And up here, we have a kind of wispy sky, like horses' tails, you know? And there's a saying that says, mackerel skies and mare's tails make good sailors wear short sails. And what that means is, when you've got that kind of cloud formation, mackerel skies and mare's tails, you can expect strong winds. I learnt that off a guy called Dave Rainsbury, who was my instructor when I did my day skipper, RYA, coastal, whatever it was, day skipper course all those years ago. And he was a wealth of knowledge. Sailed a Vancouver 27, nice boat. it's definitely true, because I've looked at the forecast for tomorrow morning and it's going to be brutal. It's going to be 30-40 mile an hour. I don't know what it'll be like here though, because we're really well surrounded. It'll either be sheltered or absolutely bleeding horrible. We'll see. But the light is now fading, so I'm going to start thinking about turning in now. So that's me. This is my little hoop bivvy. It is really a one-man thing. There definitely isn't room for 2 people in here, but I've had this for years and years, as I say, and I love it. It's just exactly what you need if you're just a single person going on your own. So tonight it's going to be quite cold. It's going to be 3, 4, 5 degrees, maybe a little bit more. I only have a 3/4 size thermarest because I like to keep it as light as possible, and I just want to keep my torso warm, and the ground isn't particularly cold at the moment, so that's fine, and I can always put my feet on my rucksack if my feet get cold. So I just keep a 3/4 size thermarest just to keep my torso off the floor, and later on, if I can be bothered, I'll go outside and film the stars, or get some shots of the stars, because they should be incredible up here. But for now, I'm just going to stay here, get warm, because it's pretty chilly out there now. I've got a bit cold sitting outside eating, so I'm going to stay here and get warm, and have a look outside a bit later on at what the stars are doing. Morning guys. Yeah, it's chucking it down with rain, which is fine, but it means I'm not going to go for a swim in that river. I mean, it's very, very cold. I'm not too bad in my sleeping bag. It's pretty chilly, so I'm going to have a lazy start, pack myself up. Right, I'm on the bike, and I'm heading back down. We just had a huge rainstorm. I was like, oh no, I'm going to get completely soaked. But actually the rainstorm passed, and I'm trying to hightail it down before the next one, because looking at these skies, there's going to be another one in a few minutes. So I'll get back down quickly and hopefully meet up with Melissa, who's going to pick me up. And this is what dawn looks like over the bay. Oh my goodness. This here, you see, is the Menai Straits, where we sail quite often. Out there is, oh, here we go. Out there is Puffin Island. And then this is, so yesterday I was kind of sailing up in this little patch just behind the corner, but this is the Menai Straits. That's Anglesey. But wow, that's a view and a half. Wouldn't mind building a Dutton lodge up here. Hello. You're a sweetie, aren't you? Hello. Huh. What a sweet little horse. How lovely. Ollie would say, it's not a horse, it's a foal. Because he's in a period at the minute of correcting absolutely everything everybody says. Which will presumably carry on till he's 18. Probably beyond. This is the river that I camped next to last night. If you're ever wondering whether you should visit Wales for the scenery, the answer is yes. That's not an ad for Welsh tourism. It's just my personal opinion. Right, got down on the bike from my camp in about an hour, so I don't think that's bad at all. It's a cracking little thing, and the nice thing about it is it folds up convenient enough to go in the lazarette, you know, which the bigger bikes don't do. But now all I've got to do is wait for Melissa to come and pick me up.